Hey 56, I got the recap of our service here today on May 3rd, and it was a good service. You know, it talks about how we all go through suffering and we don't know what it really means and if there's a purpose in it. And the answer is yes, there is a purpose in it. And what is that purpose? Well, you know, God wants us to grow. He wants us to become stronger in our faith. He wants us to be able to handle things. He wants us to be sharpened and not be focused on this world. And, you know, sometimes we think that we're alone in that suffering. We all have suffering that we can relate to, but we're not alone in it. God really, He'll partner with us. He's there to walk us through that. He may not relieve us of that pain or suffering. We may have to dwell in it, but He's there. He's part of it. And that's really what God wants us to understand. And Romans 5:3-4, verses 3-4, trials help us grow. And that's something that sometimes we don't want to hear. We don't want to hear that, oh, you got to suffer, you got to go through trials. We like the good times, and there's nothing wrong with that. But honestly, you know, God really wants us to become stronger in our faith. And also in 1 Peter 4:13, it says we should be glad for trials because that allows us to partner with Christ. He went through trials and suffered for us. And so we kind of get a taste of what that's like when we suffer. And, you know, there's unbelievable suffering in this world, and some of it is hard to even explain, honestly. I'm not here to say that it's easy and we want to go through suffering, but we should expect it. At the start of the service, Pastor Shane was talking about how we think it's the exception, that times are always going to be great and that every now and then you might go through suffering, but we should expect it as more of a rule, that it's kind of the walk of life, not just for Christians, but non-Christians as well. And so thankfully for us, we get to know that we have God with us and He's protecting us, and we have an eternal hope in Him. And no matter what goes on with the world here in our life now, we know that ultimately we'll be in eternity with Him forever. So hopefully that encourages you. The suffering is not fun, but it does have a purpose, and I hope that that's something that you can recognize. I know there is suffering here among you 56ers. We've seen it in the prayer requests, and so we do want to pray for you. Please contact us. Contact Pastor Jesus and others here at 56 and the church in general, and there are people here to pray with you, and I hope you guys are doing well.